We all know that the problem of income inequality has been getting worse. We've been talking about all the stats related to it. We've been talking about the wealth being concentrated in the richest hands, both in America, but also globally. Question is what to do about it. Andy Serwer wrote about that in this weekend's column. Andy Serwer with us now, editor-in-chief of Yahoo Finance. And Andy, you basically, obviously there are a lot of stakeholders here who can do something about this. Government can do something about it. Corporations can do something about it. You propose that the rich people can do something about it as well.
Yeah, that's right, Julie. First of all, let's note that this notion of wealth inequality is getting a lot worse. And in particular this year, the nation's billionaires garnered $1 trillion of new wealth during the pandemic, going from basically $3 trillion of wealth to $4 trillion. And that was all stock market gains from companies like Amazon and, of course, Tesla. So they've got a lot more money, number one. Now, we know it's probably a great idea to have more Americans invest in the stock market, and we can talk about that. Andrew Yang's big on that as well. Yes, we're going to get new taxes. There's probably no question about that. Maybe not right away from the Biden administration, but coming soon after, for instance, COVID, that situation is stabilized. But, when you look at these people like Elon Musk, who've gained $100 billion this year in stock market wealth, and you ask yourself, who's really doing something about this, about the problems in our society, besides, say, Bill and Melinda Gates? And, there's a few examples out there. And I looked at one guy named Dave Rue, who was one of the co-founders of Silver Lake Partners, the private equity group. And he's actually starting a graduate school with Northeastern University in Portland, Maine, to give people skills, computer science and biotech skills, so they can actually get jobs in places besides Silicon Valley and New York. So I'm looking at things like that where people are actually really trying to do things, wealthy people trying to put their money to work like that.
Andy, in the column, you spoke to Ariel Investments, John Rogers, really a power player in American business. What did he have to tell you?
Yeah, you're right. John Rogers is the co-CEO of Ariel Capital, along with Melody Hobson in Chicago, and is the largest minority-owned money management firm in the country. And he talked about wealth inequality when it comes to race, and the fact that African Americans and other people of color don't have the same history when it comes to managing money. They don't understand that you need to participate in the stock market simply because they don't have this legacy of wealth. And that's a super important point. And that, Brian, maybe gets back to the Andrew Yang notion of universal basic income. And I know people don't like to hear about Americans simply getting a check every month, but I think that it's gaining slowly a little bit more credibility.
Yeah, we'll see if it actually comes to pass. I know Andrew Yang may not have gotten anywhere in terms of winning elections, but he's not going anywhere in terms of trying to have some political influence. So it'll be interesting to keep track of. Andy Serwer, good to talk to you as always. Appreciate it.